Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Games I Beat, or Games I Speak. I'm Geo,
And I'm Josie.
and today we have a good show for you. So let's start off with our first story. All right, this is an article from IGN. I just saw this last
Yeah,
night.
this is big.
This is huge. PlayStation buys Evo Fighting Game Championship Series, announces 2021 event dates, Nintendo comments. So let's kind of go over what this article says here. Okay. Um, all right. There's actually we can read this. There we go.
Okay.
So this is a message from Evo. Evo would not be possible without the collective passion and collaboration of the fighting game community, and we're deeply grateful for your dedication over the past 25 years. That's a long time. Um, we know last year was challenging due to the pandemic and the circumstances surrounding the cancellation of Evo Online, involving a former team member who has been completely separated from our company. We want to reaffirm that harassment or abuse of any kind has no place within Evo or any of our future events. And we're taking every precaution to make sure members of our community will always be treated with the respect, dignity, and decency you deserve. In order to deliver on the trust you have all put in Evo, we realize that we need an experienced strategic partner who truly respects the spirit of the FGC. This is why we're excited to announce that Evo has become part of the joint partnership of Sony Interactive Entertainment and RTS. I don't know what RTS is.
Neither do I.
Um,
Real-time strategy?
yeah, real time strategy, StarCraft. Uh, the new partnership is committed to bringing amazing tournaments and competitive gaming experiences back to you this year and beyond. We're thrilled to work with the teams at PlayStation and RTS to bring you EVO 2021 online this August. More information on the event will follow. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your continued support, Tony and Tom Cannon. So, for those that don't know, the Cannon brothers are the ones who founded EVO. So it looks like they were the ones that made the partnership with Sony and RTS. Um, and let's look at here. So this is from PlayStation. Today we're today we're thrilled to announce the next chapter in the story of PlayStation and Evo, the world's largest and longest running fighting game tournament. Sony says in a blog post detailing the acquisition. For PlayStation's today's announcement marks an exciting step in a journey to foster the growth of the fighting game community and esports and support competitive gamers widely on our consoles, says PlayStation. Fighting games are hugely popular on PlayStation consoles. Yes, they are. I will confirm that. With gamers
Also,
logging more than
Street Fighter
1.1
5 is
billion gameplay
an
hours in
example.
2021. Oh, what's up? What'd you say?
Street Fighter 5 is an example.
Your mic is very quiet.
Street Fighter 5 is an example.
Oh, yes, yes, Street Fighter 5. All right, so now that we covered the article, um, let me kind of like give people like a quick update about what happened with Evo. Um, their CEO, Mr. Wizard, um, he was accused of some kind of like sexual harassment or sexual assault or something like that, and he was removed from the company, or he stepped down, but he was basically removed from the company. And then because of the whole pandemic, they kept pushing back the date last year, and then finally they just canceled the whole thing. And then it ended with him stepping down. So it was just like people. I remember covering this. I People just felt gutted because we were like, we were worried that it wasn't going to come back. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
was like two major defeats. So to see this, yes, it's a step away from the grassroots organizing that it was, and a step more towards a corporate esports. But that being said, um, if there's any gaming company to do it with, it's definitely Sony It would be. I would say it would be Sony or Capcom. Now Sony has worked with Capcom to keep Street Fighter alive, and that's why Sony had a big hand
A
in,
stake in it.
yeah, and a big stake in Street Fighter Five. So obviously they do care about the fighting game community, and they do want to see it moving forward. Um, and I know a lot of people are going to say, the Mike Ross types are going to say like, this isn't the fighting game community. This is a corporation now. Well, Evo had been headed towards that direction for a while. Um,
Doesn't make it right.
yeah. Well, I don't think it's right or wrong. I just think they're trying to do what they think is best for the Evo tournament, honestly.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't think this is good or bad. I just think it's a different direction, and I hope it's going to work out good. And I hope that this first tournament with the partnership of Sony is going to turn out well. So I'm being optimistic here. How do you feel about it?
I'm actually kind of ambivalent.
Okay.
I don't really follow Evo like you do.
Yeah.
I know you're very passionate about it. You make time for it. I actually only catch maybe the highlights.
Yes. Like the top
And
8.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, again, it can be good and bad. I'm it really depends on the on what comes out of it. You
Yeah.
know, like we'll see. We'll see. I don't think people shouldn't just clutch their pearls just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How? I mean, you have kind of your finger on the pulse of the fighting game
Yeah.
community. How are they taking it?
So the people, so in there it said PlayStation is a big home to the fighting game community. Now, a company could just say that, right?
Yeah, but also like that could mean a couple of things. It doesn't mean like, oh yes, people flock to PlayStation because they're home for it. It's more like they are the hub. They have the games for it,
Mhm.
or like especially in the case of like something like Street Fighter 5. It's
Yes.
and in terms of accessibility, because PlayStation just sells more consoles comparatively to something like Xbox for fighting games.
Yes. And
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, they're the home, but aren't they like kind of like the default home?
Um, I would say yes and no. They have done like I said, their partnership with Capcom to keep Street Fighter alive.
Yes.
That to me is going above and beyond, right? To help the fighting game community. Um, but if you ask a lot of fighting game players which system they play their fighting games on, they're
Yes.
going to say PlayStation
Yeah.
or they're going to say PC. But if you go to a tournament, it's PlayStation. It's just
Yeah.
easier to, move the
Much
consoles
easier.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
And
right.
that and Xbox doesn't have the same kind of rapport in Japan, and a lot of the fighting games that we talk about are Japanese.
Yeah, most of the anime fighters all go to PlayStation.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're starting to now bridge the gap with PC, and you're seeing a lot of good fighting games go to PC now.
Yes.
But like I said, tournament wise, it's not as viable as PlayStation. So also what I see in this is maybe this is like, look, if you're a tournament organizer and you're hosting a tournament, imagine the costs of buying 1,000 PlayStation 5s. You know what I mean? Or even how to get them.
I was about to say
Yeah, how
you're gonna
you
have to
gonna
get through scalpers or something.
yeah, how you even gonna get them? So now this is gonna be an online tournament, so I don't think it's gonna be a big issue this time. But next year around this partnership with Sony, that's also gonna make it easier for Evolution to get these consoles. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So that's also a logistical benefit they're gonna have as well with this change. So yeah, I say let's wait and see how the tournament works.
Yeah.
If it's too
I-
corporate, it's not going to work with the FGC because they're very grassroots. Like I said, there's a lot of humor. There's there's a lot of
Well,
unconventional
what
humor.
was I don't recall. Maybe I missed it. But what was Nintendo's comment? It said
Oh,
Nintendo
yeah, yeah.
comments.
So, yeah, I wanted to cover that last because it's up for interpretation. So let's go over that.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know that's not good. All right. So this is Nintendo's comment after hearing this. Nintendo has enjoyed engaging with fans at past EVO tournaments and wish to show organizers the best with their new venture. We will continue to assess EVO and other opportunities as we plan for future online and offline Super Smash Bros. Tournament activity, a spokesperson for Nintendo said. All right. Now, one of my friends read that as, yeah, we're done with Evo. You know what I mean? Because Nintendo is very veiled with their negative.
threats.
Yeah, yeah,
They've got Nintendo Ninjas.
yeah,
We already know about that.
yeah. And we've seen how they've gone after other tournament organizers who, in my opinion, did nothing wrong. They already own the physical games. They already own the consoles. I don't think they did anything wrong. But yeah, so I saw it as,
We're gonna start our own thing. We're gonna have a Smash tournament, and that's it.
yeah,
Well, I mean, that does raise the question as to what games, if they're gonna throttle, what games can be allowed to be played at Evo
mhm.
now. Like only games that can also be played on Sony. It's like no console exclusive games. Like what? I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't think
Well, except for
Evo.
except for Sony exclusives,
Yeah,
obviously.
I don't think Evo would have agreed to that a deal if they would have limited the
Hey
games.
man, when you start becoming corporate, a lot of
Yeah,
things change.
but I don't think there's any way in hell they're gonna get away with just doing PlayStation games. I honestly don't think that's gonna work. If they do that, mark my words, if they do that, that'll be the downfall of Evo.
His words have been marked.
Yeah, it will. It will be the downfall of Evo because people like to play games on, like for example, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That people played that on Xbox. Why? Because
Because it's better
Xbox, it was
on
faster.
Xbox.
It had less lag
Yeah.
than the PlayStation 3 version. So if you see them do that, the tournament players, they're just going to go to another tournament. Mark my words. Mark my words. So
I mean, this does present a hole where another grassroots tournament can take place. So
yeah,
there's always that. There's
yeah.
always something else that can be made.
And there's a bunch of them. I mean, I would say the two big ones besides Evo are like, you know, or there's a couple big ones. There's NEC, there's a Final Round, and there's CEO. CEO is probably the biggest. So yeah, there are competitors to Evo. Don't get it twisted. And if Evo shows any bit of weakness, something will pop up during that time frame, and the hardcore people will go to that one. They won't go to Evo.
Fair.
Yeah. So this is not a this is not a done deal for Sony and Evo. Like they have to actually work with the fighting game community, or it's going to be a flop, for sure, for sure. All right. Next up, Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume One. So, a friend of mine sent me this, and I found it pretty interesting. I didn't know they were releasing Neo Geo Pocket games on the Switch. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, I've been seeing them. But the thing is that one thing I don't like about how it looks is just like there, right? That
yeah,
picture right there, where it's like a mini Neo Geo Pocket frame for the game. Is it possible to play it without that frame?
yeah,
Because from when I see like the little pictures that are allowed in there, I'm like, ah. I
yeah,
mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but Neo Geo Pocket has never been a console that I actually wanted.
Uh-huh.
No offense.
It's a obscure console.
Yeah. The
Um,
the one that I always wanted actually was a Wonder Swan, but the games on the Wonder Swan were all in Japanese.
yeah, yeah. All right, let's just take a look at these games. SNK Gals Fighters, Samurai Showdown 2, King of Fighters R2, The Last Blade Beyond Destiny, Fatal Fury First Contact, SNK vs. Capcom, the match of the Millennium, Metal Slug First Mission, Metal Slug Second Mission, Dark Arms, Beat Buster 1999, and Big Tournament Golf. So it seems like this package is mostly fighting games. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people remember the Neo Geo for its fighting games. You know what I mean? They had some of the best fighting games around. But yeah, I agree with you that border looks horrible. They should at least allow custom borders, or more like not in your face clashing borders.
Agreed.
But yeah, I like to see them bringing back old obscure titles that people just don't have access to. Because I don't have a Neo Geo Color or Pocket Color. But this does bring up.
But you do want one. I
Well,
mean, well, you're getting the analog pocket,
exactly.
so that'll play Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Exactly. So yeah, I feel like these pocket games on eBay are about to blow up in price, but we'll see. All right, next.
I mean, technically, all games have blown up in price.
Yes, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Prices are kind of out of control right now.
Dude, yeah. There's a game that I want. It's called Elemental Gearbalt, and it's like a shooting game for the PlayStation. Close to $200.
Jeez.
And like, what?
All right. Next up, 5 legendary Bethesda titles get the FPS boost treatment on Xbox Series X and S. So those games are Dishonored Definitive Edition, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and Prey. So what exactly is this? So for the 5 titles we've shared today, gamers can expect to see an increase from 30 FPS to nearly 60 FPS while enabling FPS boost. So it looks like they're going all out on their Bethesda purchase. Let me read this. Whether it's an original form or with FPS boost and or auto HDR. Yeah, I would assume HDR would slow it down. But yeah, I just wanted to point this out because we like to give a lot of credit to Microsoft for keep maintaining these older games and improving the gameplay on their consoles. And so
Yes.
this is just another example of them doing something above and beyond. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
Yeah. It is cool. All right, next up. Play at Home 2021 update. 10 free games to download this spring.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
What is Play at Home? I actually haven't heard of this, to be honest.
It's like a program where they're trying to encourage social distancing, but they're giving people something to do at the same time.
Yes. They don't do this monthly. They do this kind of like every couple of months or so.
Yeah, I would assume this is going to be the last one since the numbers are starting to go down finally with the vaccines.
Okay.
But I don't know. So let's see this. The program kicked off earlier this month with access to a free digital copy of 2016 hit Ratchet and Clank for PS4, and you can still claim a free digital copy of the game through March 31, 2021. Let's see. All right, so starting March 25th, PlayStation and some of our favorite indie partners are collaborating to provide more free games to explore while you're staying safe and staying home. Abzu. So this is actually a pretty cool underwater adventure game. Enter the Gungeon. I haven't played this. Have you played this?
It's Gungeon.
Gungeon? Okay.
Like dungeon, but Gungeon.
Okay. So it's a dungeon crawler with guns?
Yes. John played it. I have not.
Okay. But it's a very well-received game. Rez Infinite.
I played this game. This game is amazing.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna get it then. Subnautica. I heard amazing things about this game as well. Underwater
As a lot.
exploration.
And I have my PSVR still, so
Oh, cool. The Witness. This is an open world exploration game with 500 puzzles.
yeah, it's a puzzle game, a la like a first person puzzle game, kind of like something like Myst.
Okay, okay.
This was done by Jonathan Blow, who also did Braid for the Xbox. That was a great game.
Oh, okay,
I still need to play this.
okay. Yeah, I was wondering if he ever worked on something after Braid.
Hmm.
Astrobot Rescue Mission.
I actually never got this game. I need to get it, especially after playing the amazing Astrobot Playroom on the
Yeah,
PS5.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to play this.
Moss.
This looks so cute. It reminds me of like Brian Jacques, like Redwall.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
And this kind of looks like a Studio Ghibli type
yeah,
animation.
it looks like the dude from Spirited Away,
Yeah,
No Face.
yeah. Thumper.
Oh yeah, this is like that rhythm shooter game.
Hmm. And Paper Beast.
I have not really heard much about this
Me
game.
neither. But it looks
Looks
like it's
interesting.
virtual reality.
Mm,
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
a lot of these you can get some mileage out if you have a VR headset.
Which I do, but I haven't been using it in general.
Yeah. Well, we have news
Wait
on the
until
next
Final
gen.
Fantasy 14 is in VR, then I'll play it.
Oh, dude, that would be insane.
That would be so insane.
All right. Next up, Sucker Punch discusses Ghost of Tsushima's approach to cultural authenticity. So this was actually a cool article. It talked about the detail, attention to detail they had when they were making the game, and
Wait a second. What is up with that review? 3 stars out of 5. Ghost of Tsushima has atmosphere and sharp combat, but too much filler. STFU.
ew, man, yeah, too much filler.
Let's get out of the
The
site.
filler is optional, bro. It's optional. You don't have to do it. All right. This article though is actually good. So here's something interesting. I didn't know this, but when they pitched the game, they went to the president of PlayStation Worldwide Studio Association, Shuhei Yoshida, and they also work closely with Sony and the Japan team to make sure that they were getting constant feedback and that everything was looking good. So it was a very closely monitored uh, development process,
Yeah.
just so that they didn't screw up anything, which I think is pretty important to know.
Yeah.
Let's see. We were super appreciative of that feedback and responsive as a result. And so that process was really a healthy part of the ongoing development throughout. And certainly without their guidance, we would never have achieved what we achieved. So, yeah, this is just a pretty interesting article talking about how it was a very closely monitored process by Japan, by Sony in Japan, and that they welcomed feedback and they incorporated feedback, which I think is very important if you're trying to represent another culture. You know what I mean? You don't want to overstep your boundaries or misrepresent something. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. All right, next up, did you watch the Square Enix Presents?
Unfortunately.
So let's talk about that.
So here's the thing I want to set up first,
Yeah.
aside from my disappointment, is the fact that I did not see that they actually outlined what they were going to present. They did do that.
Yes.
So in all fairness to them and whomever else was disappointed,
They let you know ahead of
they
time what it was going to be.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
So,
didn't I personally didn't see that and I didn't know. So when I actually did watch it, I was incredibly disappointed.
yeah, you were like,
Especially since some of the key art I think had like a lot of Square Enix art from titles that weren't even shown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. So here's everything they presented. Um, so they talked about Life is Strange, True Colors. This honestly was the highlight of the whole thing for a lot of people.
oh, it was the focus.
Yeah, it was the
If
focus.
anything.
But that's what people wanted to see was this. Um, Life is Strange Remastered Collection, Forspoken. Now this is what Project Athea was.
Yes.
Yeah. Marvel's Avengers, which they keep trying to save it.
Well, it's better than what they did with Anthem.
Yeah.
And by they,
Outriders.
I mean BioWare and Activision.
Yeah. And
Or is
Tomb
it
Raider,
EA?
the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. So, oh yeah, and this game that will go unnamed. No, I'm just kidding. Balan
Well,
Wonderland.
they also had like a Tomb Raider cookbook.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they had Just Cause Mobile, Hitman, Sniper Assassins,
Also mobile.
mobile, yeah. Space Invaders.
I believe this is also mobile.
Yeah, these are all mobile.
Yeah.
Tohu Spell Bubble. Bubble for Friends. Okay, this looks like it's a console game. And Darius Cosmic Revelation. This is
It's a shooter.
a shooter. Okay, this is going to come out for PS4 and Twitch.
Switch. You said Twitch.
Oh, my bad. PS4 and Switch. I meant Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that we covered everything that was there, tell me what you thought about it.
Oh, like I said, I didn't know about what was being released. So when I was watching it live, I was like, "Oh my God, when are they gonna get to something good that I really want to enjoy?"
Yeah.
Like, I really did enjoy Life is Strange. The first one.
Mhm.
I have not played Before the Storm or the second Life is Strange.
Mhm.
So I've been wanting to play those and check them out. But Don't Nod is the developer behind those. This Life is Strange True Colors is being developed by another studio.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing with it.
Okay.
That being said, Life is Strange isn't like the system seller, like my most hyped game. So I was really looking forward to something about maybe Nier Automata 2. I don't know. That's lofty, but I know Platinum Games is working with Square Enix for the next game. It's called Babylon Falls, I think. Babylon's Fall.
Okay, I haven't heard of it.
So something about that. Maybe something about Final Fantasy 16.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something about Final Fantasy 14 Endwalkers. But then again, they're going to be having a fan festival soon. So still, there's overlap.
Yeah.
It was neat to get some information on Project Athia. Forspoken. They showed some of the traversal and the world that the game is taking place in. It looks very cool.
It does. It does.
Luminous Productions is the same company pretty much that did Final Fantasy 15. And
that's what I was going to say.
Final Fantasy 15.
The movement looks similar to Final Fantasy 15 movement.
I was going to say the world also looks very similar to Final Fantasy 15. So I'd like to see more about that. But as like let's say a Square Enix Direct, overall I thought it was pretty disappointing.
Yeah. I agree with you. And they said they're going to have a second one in this summer, and I assume that's going to have all the big news like Final Fantasy and all that. So we'll see. But I think they should have thrown us a bone.
Well, they did. That's what Forspoken was. I think Forspoken was that bone. I'm not gonna lie, because look at all the other games that were in there.
Yeah.
And they were all mostly third-party titles.
Yeah, this one was directed toward. They said this one was specifically for third-party titles. So I would assume the next one is going to be for their in-house projects.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, I'm looking forward. Yeah, this one wasn't that great, but I'm looking forward to the next one.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a major fan of like Square Enix properties in general, like I tend to really look forward to what they've got going on. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Here's hope.
All right, next up. Sony announces, this is an article from The Verge. Sony announces new PS5 VR controllers with adaptive triggers. So let's go over this. Okay, Sony is revealing its new VR controllers for the PS5 today. The orange-shaped controllers look more like typical VR controllers than existing PlayStation Move Motion controllers, and they also include the same adaptive trigger technology found on the PS5 controller.
Yeah,
So, so
these are boxing mitts.
yeah, no, these work really well for sports games. So let me read this. This is a quote. This enables you to make more natural gestures with your hand during gameplay, says Hideki Nishino. SIE's product engineering design teams have collaborated to build our new VR controller from the ground up with a goal of making a huge leap from current gen VR gaming, says Nishino. Prototypes of our new VR controller will be in the hands of the development community soon, and we can't wait to see what ideas they come up with and how the controller helps bring their imagination to life. So they haven't revealed the details on their headset, but Sony isn't planning to launch its VR headset for the PS5 in 2021, but it's clear the company is getting ready. Okay, so this looks like a 2022 release. All right. With that being said, you're the only one I know who has a PlayStation VR set. So what's your opinion on this?
That's exciting. I would need to see how the actual headset will connect to the system. Literally, because the PS4 VR that I have, I tend to not play it because it's kind of a hassle to get set up and then put away because I'm one of those neat people that likes to have everything orderly.
Yeah.
I did. It was really cool of Sony. They went ahead and they sent out a camera adapter. Like they sent me an email and they were like, "You have a PS4 VR system. We see that you have a PS5. Do you want to use your PSVR on PS5?" So they sent a camera adapter to allow connection for the camera to the PS4 camera to the PlayStation 5 to use PSVR, and I haven't even used it. So I have the ability to play PSVR games on PS5, but I just haven't even
You haven't even tried it.
hassled with it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So if anything, the only thing that's keeping me from playing PSVR games in general
Is the setup.
is usability.
Okay.
So hopefully when we hear more about it, like these controllers seem like they're moving in the right direction,
Mhm.
but hopefully when we hear about the setup and how they're actually going to be connecting it to the console, that they've got some magic going on and it's like put it on the headset and then you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think you bring up a good point. And that is the major hurdle of VR is usability.
Yeah.
Does it make you dizzy? Does it
Oh,
hurt?
that too.
Yeah. Does it hurt your head? How long can you realistically play it? So yeah, as long as they have a team working on that, I think it should be an improvement.
Yeah.
And it definitely increase the resolution as much as possible.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, all right, next up. Fans enraged over gaming company CEO's $200 million bonus amid layoffs. So this is an article from Yahoo News. So basically what happened was the Activision Blizzard CEO, he is due to receive a $200 million bonus after the company just laid off 50 people. And there's talks of laying off more people.
Nice.
So I always like to point this stuff out because it's just a very, oops, I thought that was a closed thing. I got tricked. I got tricked. All right, so let's read this. This is from Jason Schreier. More on today's Activision layoffs. Dozens of people at the company were impacted, not just in live events. In addition to 90 days severance and a year of health benefits, laid off staff received $200 Battle.net gift cards.
Nice.
Activision Blizzard had originally announced that the layoffs were 50 people in the esports live events departments, but the real number appears to be much higher. Person familiar says it will be less than 2% of total staff. 2% would be around 190 people. So,
I mean, that just goes to show how large they are.
yeah.
So 200 people, they make it sound like that's a lot of people, but that's literally 2% of their workforce.
Yes. It's a huge company.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like the article is a little misleading in that area, or at least the headline.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, 200 people.
But
and it's like, well, it's kind of a drop in the bucket.
What's not misleading though is that they are laying off people while giving a $200 million bonus to their CEO, who is an employee, right?
I mean,
so
would you really call CEO an employee?
Yeah, they're employees.
Ugh.
CEOs count.
I don't think CEOs are equivalent to a grunt employee. I'm sorry. There is a difference.
No, a CEO is an employee of the company.
Yes, no, I get that. But
so
there is a difference in terms of hierarchy, right?
But they are an employee, though, are they not?
There is a difference in terms of hierarchy, though, right?
Yes, but I'm asking you a simple question.
No, we're done.
Are they an employee?
Of course they're an employee, but it's not the same.
What's wrong with saying they're an employee?
It's not the same. It's not the same as an employee.
They're an executive employee, right?
I mean,
but they're still an employee.
What are we arguing? Literally, the only thing I'm arguing is that a CEO is more valuable or contains more value than a regular employee, like a developer.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
That's the only thing I'm saying. And okay. You were trying not to give that to me. So that's all I needed to get out of you.
Yeah, but you said a CEO isn't really an employee, and I'm just saying no, they're an employee.
They're different. They are different.
Yeah. They're an employee. They're an employee. A CEO is an employee.
Okay.
They're employed by the company. Yes or no?
Let's move on.
Okay. No, I'm not going to move on from this story just yet. I just want to point out one thing. All right. The bonus is for stock performance, options? I guess you would say. Right.
Okay.
So it's in his contract. So you can't really be like, oh, they're just giving him this bonus. It's in his contract, so they have to, right?
So is it equivalent then in terms of the story where like his contract has this bonus that happened at the same time that employees were laid off? It's not so much that because he got this bonus, employees were laid off.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to bring up. So the employees weren't fired because he got the bonus, not that we know of. He got the bonus because of performance in stocks.
Interesting.
But that being said, $200 million could more than enough keep those employees on the payroll and working at the company.
Well, like we just said, or the article stated, it's 2% of that employee workforce.
Yeah.
And we don't know the story behind each individual firing.
Yes. But it's not a good look for the company.
I think this is just sensationalization. This is just people grasping at trying to make a story. You just stated right there that this entire $200 million bonus was going to happen regardless if the employees kept their job or not.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling the truth here.
So this just feels like, hey, we need something to talk about, and here's a story.
I don't know.
That's just my opinion from the situation.
Okay. Here's the thing. In the past, and this has happened on many different occasions, CEOs have docked their salary to keep on employees from getting laid off.
Okay.
This is a very common practice for CEOs, for those of you watching that don't know this. A CEO can use their bonus for the company to keep on employees. It is possible. You can do it. Many CEOs have done it.
I think you're going into a realm where you're trying to dictate someone and how they use their money.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying he should do it or not.
You're
I'm
kind
just
of going
saying
into
you
that realm
can
though.
do it. I'm saying you
Yeah,
can do
okay.
it. You can do that. That's all I'm
And you
saying.
and also you cannot, like he just did.
Yeah, you don't have to, but I'm saying it
Yeah.
can be done. Like the CEO of Marriott did that.
But
He
at the end of the day, my heart goes out to the people that lost their jobs. That's one thing for certain. Like it sucks to
yes,
be in that position, especially during this time period.
yeah. So all I'm pointing out is that people are pointing out. I'm not enraged, right? I don't think there's. I'm not outraged or anything because this is something I would expect. But I'm just saying there's other options. That's all I'm saying. You can
Yeah,
and
but at the same time, we don't know the story behind these firings.
well, I would
What
assume it's
what
a
what if
it's
what if these firings were completely justified?
oh, I would assume it's because it's their most of them are in their live events division, so they're not having live events. That's what I would assume there is their logic behind it. So,
Okay.
but I'm just saying it doesn't
I'm
look
just saying too, wouldn't you agree that if if we knew the story behind them and the stories were justifiable, then this would be a non-story.
no, I think this looks
CEO's contract
yeah.
is withheld, or no, upheld, pardon.
Yeah.
CEO's contract is upheld and employees lose their jobs because of reasons.
No, I think this is a totally valid story. I
Okay.
really do. I think it's a totally valid story. If you're giving a CEO, which is an employee of the company, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. That is what it
Yeah,
is.
it's a fact, but it's
Yeah.
like you saying like I'm gonna put this in an example, an
All right.
analogy. A director is an employee in a movie, just like the grip is an employee in a
No,
movie.
I'm not
They're
saying a
they're completely
CEO.
different
No,
tiers,
no,
and
no, no.
their responsibilities are
I
completely
know,
different.
but
So
did I?
you're just saying you're kind of like diminishing
No, I'm not.
his position
No,
by
I'm
saying
not.
he's just an
No, no, I'm
employee.
not. No, I'm not. Did
Yes,
I
you are. Yes, you are.
say he's the same level as another employee?
The way that you're stating it
You're
insinuates that.
interpreting it that way. I'm saying he's an
Well,
employee.
then
That's all
why are
I'm
you saying
saying.
it that way?
Because he
Why are
is
you
an
saying that?
employee. It's a
But but
fact.
but what's the point? What's your point that you're trying to make that he's an employee and that he shouldn't be getting 200 million because of his
No,
contract?
no,
His contract is
no.
different in
I'm
terms of
saying,
every
I
other
know, I
employee.
know. But I'm saying he's an employee. The company pays the employees from the same wallet. That's the only point I'm trying to bring up.
No, because his contract is different. The other employees don't have those stock options that his contract has.
Yes, I know. But what I'm saying
Doesn't he
is,
have a different contract than other employees then?
yeah, no, no. What I'm saying is the money that goes to pay those employees also goes to pay his salary. Correct?
I don't know. I actually don't know that.
Well, that is how it works. The
Well, no,
company
because
pays the CEO.
the thing is that where are those profits coming from? Would you say that the money is the same as profits coming from games versus stock options? Those are
Um,
different. Those are different coffers.
yeah, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I'm just saying that the money to pay him $200 million, you can give him his $200 million, right? But there's still money there to pay those employees' salary. That's what I'm saying. You don't.
Again, it's not mutually exclusive. Like the reason why they were fired doesn't mean that they could have used the money to keep them. This
I'm
is like
not
the reasons
saying.
that they were fired doesn't
Okay,
mean.
okay. I'm not being clear. If they have enough money to give him a $200 million bonus, they have enough money to keep the employees on. That's all I'm saying. I'm just bringing
We
up a
got
point.
we got to move on. And my point is that the firings, we don't know if they were justifiable or not.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just saying they could have if they wanted to. That's all I'm
But what's
saying,
the
man.
point of keeping employees that you're gonna need to fire?
I'm not bringing up their motive. I'm just saying they
The
could have.
the motive is important though, and that's being disregarded.
It's
So
not. We
let's move
don't
on.
know the motive. I'm not trying to imply the motive here. I'm just saying if you have $200 million, that's a lot of money. They have profits. They have enough money to keep those employees on. That's all I'm pointing out, man. I'm not saying whether it's good or it's bad or they should have done it or they should. I'm just bringing up a point.
It's 11:57. We got to move on.
Okay. All right. All right. Next up, Rockstar thanks GTA Online player who fixed poor load times. So this is actually pretty cool. A player, where's his name's on here? Let me see. I want to get this right. Toster CX. He fixed a bug in the loading time where I guess the game was loading through one thread, which it creates like a gateway or a gridlock in the processing of your system, and that was drastically slowing down the load times of GTA Online. So the fix of that bug improved loading times up to 70%, which is massive. So Rockstar gave him $10,000. And it looks like they did it through their bug bounty program.
That's very cool.
So yeah, I think this is really cool, and I like to see developers work with their
Modding
community to get to reward them for doing good things like that. And like a lot of people like to use mods and like celebrate mods, but it's kind of like a thankless job if you think about it.
Well, it's because they're doing it out of their own passion and their free time.
Yeah.
And, more power to the modding community, because it is really impressive
Yes.
what comes out of that community, especially depending on games.
Yeah.
Like Skyblivion, and how they brought back Oblivion with Skyrim type graphics, and they made it look so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely like to see people who like improve quality of life and just the overall experience to be acknowledged and rewarded by the company. I think that's great.
Agreed.
All right. Last up, I know you got to go somewhere, so we can make this kind of quick. Did you hear about this game?
Feature Clockwork Aquario, developers on the restoration of Wesstone's lost arcade gem. Yes, I did actually.
Yeah.
I heard about this around the same time that the Cotton.
Yes.
Remake, or not remake, but it was like a revamp coming out.
So if you have time, if you too, Josie, if you have time, check out this article. It goes into detail of how they restored this game that was actually it was going to be released in arcades.
Yes.
But it didn't test well with audiences.
Oh.
So they canceled it. And a team of original developers plus game creator Ryuichi Nishizawa, the maker behind Wonder Boy.
I love Wonder Boy.
He also worked on this game, believe it or not, the original.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So they all got together and they remade the game, the parts of the games that were lost. And you can pre-order the game now on Strictly Limited Games.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah. That's great. And Strictly Limited Games is also awesome, by the way. I just want to give them a shout out. Yeah. Not being sponsored by them at all, but they do some great work.
Yeah.
Really love their purchasing from them.
Yeah. So you can go and buy. I pre-ordered the Switch. Actually, let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah.
Here we go. So this is all they're selling out quick, people, and you should know that too, Josie, because I know you like to collect these things.
I did order. I believe they also had Cotton. I ordered Cotton from them.
So the Switch one sold out, but you can still pre-order the PS4, the PS4 collectors, the Switch collectors, and then like ultra collectors of each one.
Oh my God, they always have that ultra collectors. What's that? What's in that ultra collectors? Let's look at it real quick. Okay. It looks like they have like a standee. Or wow, that figure looks amazing.
Yeah. Dude, doesn't that look like Wonder Boy?
Yeah.
The art style.
But what kind of game is this? Actually, I don't even know what kind of game it is.
It's a platformer like Wonder Boy.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
But they said at the time part of the failure was that fighting games were the big thing. And when they put this platformer in the arcade, it just didn't do well at the time.
Didn't capture the minds and hearts of the populace.
Here, let's pull this up.
That looks so neat.
Yeah.
I've got so many things just standing up already.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'll put a link to the
So
strictly
wait,
limited.
my question to you is,
Yeah.
why'd you get it on the Switch versus the PS4?
Because they originally planned to develop it for the Switch.
Interesting. Very
So
cool.
yeah, I decided to pick the one that was their main focus.
Like the lead development.
Yeah. So
Neat.
yeah, that's it for that
I'm
week.
definitely gonna get it.
Or that's it for this week. I hope you all enjoyed. And me and Josie, we have these like heated arguments sometimes, but they like it's water under the bridge between us. We never hold any grudges. We just have differing opinions on certain things. So
Yeah. It's literally
yeah.
it's literally not an issue.
Yeah. We're not really fighting. We're
we get into life and death battles,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
We're not really
we
fighting.
come out,
We're just like sparring over terminology, so to
it's
speak.
just like a brotherly tiff.
Yes, yeah, and interpretations. We just had different interpretations. It's not a big deal. So yeah, let us know though what you guys think in the comments below. Let's try to keep it civil. We don't have to fight here. Just let us know what you think. That's it for this week. We hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching.
Until next time, keep gaming.
Keep gaming. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Games I Speak. If you liked the episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.